What's up, Bears fans? Welcome into Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, and we've got some news. I'm off the rest of the week, but don't worry, we'll have some videos that I filmed already that we're going to put up on the channel. But today I wanted to kind of leave today open in case a Justin Fields update dropped. And there's a bit of an update. I'm still a little bit annoyed by Matt Eberflus. We'll get into that and some other stories in a second. But hit that subscribe button. I hope everybody's getting ready for a great Thanksgiving. And hopefully you're spending it with family, friends, and get to watch some football as well. So go ahead and subscribe if you want daily videos here on the channel covering the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors. All right, with that being said, let's get to the news here. Justin Fields, day-to-day still, according to Matt Eberflus. He gave us a little more information, but not a ton, which I find very frustrating considering the Bears are a 3-8 football team, and the only thing this fan base cares about at this point in the season is Justin Fields' status. But Flus holds his cards close to the chest. We know that by now. He said that he's day-to-day, that today's practice is a walkthrough, and that Fields would be listed in a limited capacity. So if it was a standard practice, he would be limited. Now, what does a limited practice look like for quarterbacks? Maybe some throwing off to the side, maybe some 7-on-7 stuff. Hard to say for sure. Obviously, quarterbacks don't get hit in practice anyway, but he would be listed as limited. Now, a couple other interesting notes. Flus did say that Fields is not a candidate to go on short-term IR. So what does that mean? That means that the idea that they're going to shut him down for the season is not under consideration unless something changes at some point. They expect him to play at some point. Will that be this week? Seems like it's probably going to be a game time type of decision, questionable designation probably coming out of Friday's practice. That would be my guess. Again, subscribe if something notable happens. We will have you covered, but that is my guess. I would rest him this week. The Jets bench Zach Wilson. We'll get into that later on in the show, but you're a 3-8 football team. You're playing a physical defense. Jets are really good on that side of the ball. I don't know how much you have to gain putting Justin Fields out there if he's banged up. And by the way, it's not just the shoulder. His legs are sore. He's fatigued from having to run for his life, not just on designed runs, but just with pass protection breaking down. I mean, he's having to do so much for this offense right now that sitting at 3-8, I think resting him a week, and especially if you want him to keep playing this season, I would much rather rest him up next week against the Packers. That's really the one game I want the Bears to win from here on out. Otherwise, if you lose the rest of them and Fields plays well or at least doesn't get further injury, this season, all in all, is still a success. You found your quarterback. You're going to get a high draft pick, and you're going to have a lot of cap space next year. So still a lot of things to be thankful for here on this Thanksgiving week. Will Justin Fields play on Sunday against the Jets? Predict it for us. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Do you think he plays on Sunday? I will say no, but I'm not confident in saying it. I do think they might play him, and I do wonder if that would be a mistake. So let me know what you guys think. Y for yes, N for no. Will Justin Fields play this Sunday? We'll get back to a little bit of a Fields conversation when we talk about the Bears' opponent this week, which is the New York Jets and their whole quarterback situation with Zach Wilson. But first, some more Bears injury news here. Lucas Patrick. Remember Lucas Patrick? 2-year deal. He's this leader. He's going to be our center. He's going to do all great things and might be named a team captain. Wasn't, but was a candidate for that. He is out for the season. He has had toe surgery, according to Matt Eberflus, which means his season is over. And let's be honest, I mean, this was one of the kind of not bigger, like huge financial investments, but I would say out of all the free agent signings Ryan Poles made this year, and again, we knew they were bargain bin hunting. They weren't spending big money this year. We know that. This was one of the ones that we expected to at least have a notable impact. He did not. Lucas Patrick in training camp suffered a hand injury, which meant he missed all of camp. And when he first came back, he wasn't able to snap the football, so he played guard. He wasn't very good at guard. Played 2 total series at center. That Patriots game, the first 2 series, which the offense was rolling, by the way, gets hurt in that one. Haven't seen him since, and now his season is over. I think you have seriously got to approach this offseason as you need a center. I don't think the whole Lucas Patrick, he'll be the guy next year, is a good idea. We know Sam Mustipher is not a starting caliber center. I'm actually fine if he's the backup. but he cannot be the center. And I don't think, based on how this went this year with Lucas Patrick, you can just run it back with him and say Doug Kramer, the rookie who's been on IR all season. I think you seriously have got to go get a center, whether it's in the draft, in free agency. There's guys like Mitch Morse available. I'd throw some money at him. You got to get a stabilizer at that position. You haven't had it in years. I mean, Sam Mustipher, by the end of the season, has been your primary starting center the last 2.5 years. That just can't continue. So that's been a disappointment for Lucas Patrick that he's not going to play again this year. When he did play, he didn't play well at guard. I thought he looked good in his very brief time at center, but it was 2 drives. I mean, there's no way to take that and say, yeah, he's the guy next year. No, I don't see that being the case. Doesn't mean he won't be on the roster. Doesn't mean he won't fight for a roster spot. But you could also cut him and save some money, and I think that could very well be a possibility. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. Should the Bears upgrade at center this offseason? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Get your votes in the comments. All right, we got to get to this Zach Wilson thing. The Bears play the Jets this week. We don't know Justin Fields' game status. Again, I think he'll probably be questionable. If not, if he doesn't go, Trevor Siemian will go, and then they will elevate Nathan Peterman for the practice squad. But Zach Wilson has been benched. If you have not followed this situation in New York this week, this should make Bears fans, despite being 3-8, despite Fields being banged up, feel a lot better about their quarterback situation than the Jets moving forward. Now, the Jets are a better team this year overall. Their defense is loaded, but they got problems at quarterback. So Robert Saleh announced that Zach Wilson, basically, he needs a breath. He needs a break. So they're going to bench him, start Mike White. I thought it would be Joe Flacco, but they're starting Mike White, who has, I think, 3 or 4 career starts. Actually torched the Bengals last year in a win. Other than that, just kind of a journeyman quarterback. Spent some time in Dallas. That's not really the focus. But this Zach Wilson situation, we're talking about the number 2 overall pick, who wasn't even a captain at BYU his last season there, has a ton of talent, strong arm, yada, 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 has not looked good on the field. So that's, problematic enough, but he's young, he's still developing, you give some pass there. He's had some injuries. What you can't give a pass for, and why I do think the Jets have a big problem long term compared to the Bears, who I don't think have a problem, explain that part of it in a second, is last week the Jets lost 10-3 to the Patriots, in which their defense only gave up 3 points. The touchdown New England had was late in the game on a punt return. Zach Wilson goes 9 for 22 for 76 yards, I believe, and after the game, he is asked by the media, hey, Zach, do you feel like you and the offense let the defense down? What's his answer? No. Just shakes his head, no. You score 3 points, play terribly, and lose a critical game that could have AFC playoff implications, as now the Patriots and Jets are both 6-4 and the Patriots have the tiebreaker, and that's your answer? That's not what a franchise quarterback says. That's not what a franchise quarterback looks like. Justin Fields, after losing to the Falcons 27-24, putting up 24 points, not a crazy number, but a good number in this offense in Chicago, has averaged about 30 over the past 5 weeks. Oh, and by the way, Fields gets hurt late in the game on a just bonehead play call from Luke Getsy. You know what he does while dealing in raving pain with the shoulder? He rallies the guys in the locker room, especially the defense, and steps up and says, hey guys, I apologize. Defense, y'all gave us a chance today. I got to be better. We got to be better as an offense. It's on me. That's what was reported. That's what a franchise quarterback does. Even when things aren't your fault, even when things aren't going your way, even when you have a defense that has been a big problem for weeks in Chicago, when you're the quarterback and losses start to stack up and, you're worried about potential locker room chaos and the Bears have lost 7 of 8, you know what Justin Fields does? He brings the guys together and say, hey, it's on me. We should have won this game. It's my fault. Defense gave us a chance. Zach Wilson says, no accountability for putting up 3 points in a critical playoff type of game, whereas the Bears aren't even in playoff mode, and their quarterback is playing his ass off, running for his life, fighting through nicks and knacks and injuries now, and he steps up to the plate and carries the load on his shoulders after the game. It was reported that defensive guys cut him off at the end of the apology. It was like, hey, man, we got your back. Like, you're our guy, this and that. And it sounded like a good locker room moment, good culture moment for Flus's team, which is great to see moving forward. Justin Fields knows what it takes to be a franchise quarterback, and he's taken the strides on the field as well. It'd be one thing if he was struggling mightily on the field. Does he have the ways to go? Absolutely, especially as just a pure pocket passer. He's got a ways to go. There's no doubt. Obviously, he needs pieces around him as well, which, by the way, the Jets' pieces around Wilson overall are better than the pieces around Fields in Chicago. That receiving corps is actually pretty talented in New York. But all of that being said, Fields playing better on the field. Fields named a team captain. Fields being a leader. Zach Wilson, I got nothing to say after putting up 3 points. Fraudulent move. Jets teammates didn't receive it well, and I think that's a big reason why he's been benched, and I don't know if the Jets can recover from that. And the New York Jets could have drafted Justin Fields, number 2. Remember all those garbage reports going into the draft last year? Oh, Fields, he's a last in the building, first to leave type of guy. His work ethic is questionable. His attitude is questionable. It was garbage reporting then. It's proven to be garbage. Remember all the reports in the offseason of him and Mooney staying in the building watching film and getting work in until midnight, kind of doing weightlifting competitions and stuff like that. Zach Wilson is a fraud. Justin Fields is the face of a franchise. He looks the part. He's playing like the part. He's only going to get better, and that's why this offseason is the biggest offseason in franchise history, in my opinion. $120 million in cap space. You're going to have a top 5 pick probably. Ryan Poles, you got to step up like your quarterback is, because these next 6 months are going to be critical for the future of the Chicago Bears. Just wanted to point that out because Fields is doing all the right stuff as a team leader, as a franchise quarterback. Zach Wilson is an absolute fraud, and in the middle of a playoff run is getting benched for Mike White. Someone named Mike White is someone who sells insurance in the middle of Rhode Island, not an NFL quarterback, and that is a guy who is starting over Zach Wilson. Absolute joke in New York. Chicago, a lot of problems right now, but at least you got the quarterback. Type JF1 if you want to show Justin Fields some love. We'll see what his injury status is moving forward. Don't risk further injury. That would be my message to Flus and this football team. All right, that's going to be it for me here on Bears Now. Again, we'll have videos leading up to Sunday. I'm going to spend the next few days back in my hometown with some family, but we'll have some videos go out. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you guys enjoy it. Watch some football. Enjoy the food, all that good stuff. And we will see you guys soon. And hit that sub button. We'll see you guys throughout the week.